Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for my Happy Day series using what's in our stash. Now before we jump into the card, I wanted to go over the last Happy Day series. I was giving away this cute little BoBunny Monster Stamp set, and I actually had two of them, so not only one winner will be announced today. I'll be announcing it on my blog, and if you are the winner, I'll contact you via messaging. So check your messages because you could have won a prize. Now today I'm using this stamp set for my Happy Day series. Now this is called Spooky House from Stampendous. Now I had already cut out two panels. Now these panels are just slightly smaller than a card base. Not quite as large, but just a hair is showing. And so I have two of the same exact sizes. Now I'm going to do some stamping here. And I am going to do another Halloween card. So I'm going to stamp this little spooky house here using some VersaFine ink. And I'm going to create like a little spooky little village. And so I'm stamping one on the end here. I ended up stamping 4 houses. But I ended up shortening one house, but it looked fine in the end. I wanted room for my sentiment, so this one's kind of lower, but it's kind of not very noticeable, which is a good thing. And then I'm going to stamp it one more time. I actually made sure that all 4 of these houses are touching each other because I'm going to end up cutting out that top part. So once that's done, I'm going to clean off my stamp here, and then I'm going to go in with some clear embossing powder. Okay, and then I'm going to use my heat gun, and I'm going to melt all that embossing powder, make it nice and shiny. Once I have that done, I wanted to do a different color medium today, and so for my stash I have some watercolor pencils. Now, by no means am I a watercolor person whatsoever, but these are so fun, and I hadn't used them. I don't think I've ever used them in a video, so I thought it'd be fun just to use those today. I'll leave a link below to where you can pick them up. They're pretty inexpensive, and I got them on Amazon, I know that, but I'll leave links below to where you can find it. And if I can find the stamp set too, I'll add that too. But what I do with the watercolor pencils is I just basically scribble. For the rooftops, I'm going in with some purples and black, and then for the house bases, I'm using some yellow and oranges. I'm going over the door and then the little ghosts with white, and then I added a little bit of gray just to ground everything, just to make it look more like a little village. Now here's the fun part. Now I have my water pan, and I am just going over those images. So easy to do, and it blends so nice. I just love the way this looks. I mean, it's kind of a messy look, but it's so fun. So if you've never tried watercolor pencils, you'll have fun. So I got everything all blended all together, and that's my little spooky village scene. Now I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to fussy cut out that top portion. So basically I'm left with the bottom part of the village, and I think that looks so cute. Now I used a white pencil for my little ghost, but it kind of drowned him out a little bit, so I'm going in with my white gel pen, and boy did it just make it pop. So I just love the way this looks. Now I did cover up the eyes, but later on, after that white gel pen dries, I'll go in with my black marker and add the eyes to that. I thought I'd go over the little kitty cat eyes too, just to make them stand out. And I was happy with the way the white gel pen just made them glow almost. So that's my panel. Okay, now we're going to work on our background. For the background, I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says, "Have a spooktacular Halloween." It's a cute little sentiment. I'm going to go over my little haunted house village with a pencil, just so I know where to stamp the sentiment. I didn't want my sentiment to go up behind the houses. So I'm using my anti-static powder tool, I'm going to add some Versamark ink to my sentiment and stamp that. And then in the stamp set, there's a solid ghost. I'm going to stamp that as well. We need a ghost flying in my background here. Now for the ghost and the sentiment, I'm going to go in with my Glacier White embossing powder by Nuvo. I think it looks really nice against that gray background. I'm going to grab my paintbrush and just clean up my little messy areas. Using my heat tool, I'm just going to melt that embossing powder, make it nice and shiny. I'm going to use my eraser and erase my evidence there. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my craft mat. What we're going to do for the background is create a night sky. And you can see here I added a circle mask over that ghost. That's going to be my moon. So I'm just going right over it with some Blueprint Sketch Distress ink. And it covered over that gray cardstock really well. And then for the edges, I'm going to take the Black Soot Distress ink and go around all the edges of this panel. And you'll see my masking lifted up a little bit. I didn't bother fixing it. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but it did mess it up a little bit. While I had my little blending tool out, I went over the edges of my scene here, just adding little shadow and then getting rid of that gray cardstock look. Going in around all the edges of it. Love that. Okay. Now I'm going to take that panel and I'm going to lightly spray it with my water bottle here. Activate that ink just a little bit so I have a little texture on it. And I think that turned out so neat looking. As I pulled my mask off, I wasn't really fond of that gray moon. So I'm taking the negative part of my mask and going in with some squeezed lemonade just around the edges, just to bring a little bit more interest to my moon area. It was a quick fix, but I really liked the way that turned out. Okay, lovely. Now I'm going to add some foam tape behind this scene, and then I added some fun foam behind that panel. I'm going to place my little spooky village on that panel so it's popped up just a little bit. And then here's where I took my black marker and dotted in all those little ghost eyes. And then I always think night backgrounds need a shimmer. So I have this shimmer spreads and I just went over it, just the top area, to give that night sky a little shine. Lovely. For a little bit more, of course, I have these Your Next Stamp gumdrops. These ones are actually like clear iridescent, real pretty, and so I added a few of those here and there. I'm just going to remove the backing off of my fun foam, and then I'm going to place this on a side folding A2 size card, white card base. Lovely. And that's my card for today. I encourage you guys to use items that are in your stash, and again with the colored pencils I will list them below. If you want to know who won the contest, visit my blog. I'll have the winners listed there. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys. I wish you a fantastic day. If you're new and want to see more, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think by leaving a comment. We'll talk to you. We'll see you again soon, guys. Bye-bye.